Welcome to the Blood Bowl League. Round 4. We're going to be capping off the highs and lows of round 4 and looking forward to how the fixtures are going to be laid out. Rather than starting with the Roaring Juniors versus the G.O.A.T CAS, we're going to start with the Skull Splitting Sheilas versus the Monster Mashers. It was a match that went very much how you'd expect, with 3-0 victory to the Skull Splitting Sheilas, but a 3-1 victory in casualties to the Monster Mashers. This also means that the Monster Mashers are climbing the table in casualties, and they did get a casualty added to the ranks. They killed Sarah, a blitzer of the Skull Splitting Sheilas, and added her to the ranks, along with Man of Steel from the G.O.A.T CAS. The Monster Mashers are creating a rainbow myriad of players from all teams of all leagues. Will they add? Or is this all they're taking? Don't know. We're interested to find out. But they break your legs versus Black Spike Feet. Very interesting and very hotly contested match, considering these were the teams in first and second place at the end of round 3. From what I heard and from what I saw, looked like it may have been maiden season for Jean Valjean, as he spent about 5 turns of the game playing Kiss Chase with the Minotaur of the Black Spike Feet team. And as far as I'm aware, he didn't get what he wanted quite in the mains, but he probably got some excitement for it. The game ended 2-0 to Black Spike Feet. The unfortunate thing is, every time the Break Your Legs tried to form a solid defense, their men were tied up elsewhere among the pitch by the Black Spike Feet team, allowing them to be punched through and overturned. Now, I know a few people are going to be interested, not for what's going on at the top of the table, but who is taking the bottom of the table. The Roaring Juniors versus the G.O.A.T CAS. This match could shape up if one team won and if one team lost, how the fates of teams are going to be decided. The G.O.A.T CAS struck first with a 1-0 victory, replied not as quickly, but fairly quickly by the Roaring Juniors. And then the Roaring Juniors went 2-1 up. But a goblin throw, same as they did to go 1-0 in the first place, caused a 2-2 equalize. Turn 14 for the Roaring Juniors. They went 3-2 up, and they were hoping and thinking that this could be it. But turn 16 came and didn't go without a fight. A 1-turn pass and score by the G.O.A.T CAS. 3 goblin touchdowns by 1 goblin player made them the Roaring team, along with the Roaring Juniors, of a 3-3 result. Looking at the table, top of the table, 4 wins is Black Spike Feet on 24 points. And then you have the Skull Splitting Sheilas on 16. You have the Break Your Legs on 13. You have the Roaring Juniors on 11. You have the Monster Mashers on 9. And you have the G.O.A.T CAS on 8. For the G.O.A.T CAS to have a chance of escaping the wooden spoon contention, they will need to at least better the result of the Monster Mashers. And if the Roaring Juniors lose and the Monster Mashers don't win, and the G.O.A.T CAS also win, they could go as high as 4th. In theory. But it's going to be interesting. The Roaring Juniors have got it all to play. So long as they don't fumble their lines, they're safe. Monster Mashers have to at least match or beat whatever the G.O.A.T CAS do on final league day. It is going to be a hotly contested match. The Monster Mashers have the best touchdown difference and CAS difference of the teams around them. Will they hold out? I definitely be hoping to find out. Looking at now the tables for top scorers. First, Scylla of the Skull Splitting Sheilas on 6. Halfa of Black Spike Feet on 5. Up to No Good, G.O.A.T CAS 3. Worst Boy, Roaring Juniors 3. Ashubar of the Black Spike Feet 2. Bad Boy of the Roaring Juniors, also on 2. And on 1 all each, we have Habhak of the Black Spike Feet, JD and Yaver of They Break Your Legs, Jesse of the Monster Mashers, Mike Hunt of the G.O.A.T CAS, Mr. Smee of the Monster Mashers, Sophie of the Skull Splitting Sheilas, and Uznavi of the Break Your Legs. In terms of completions, we have Sheila on 4 from the Skull Splitting Sheilas. We have Yaver of the Break Your Legs on 1. Smash and Grab K.O.A.T CAS 1. Sophie of the Skull Splitting Sheilas 1. Worst Boy of the Roaring Juniors 1. I will only name those in 2 casualties or more, and I will scroll for the rest here. Ashubar, Black Spike Feed 5. Jean Valjean, the Break Your Legs 4. Jean Valjean's on a hot streak and has been climbing the ranks recently. Can he cement the trophy? Cinderbreath of Black Spike Feet 3. Clayface Monster Smashes 3. Azarak and Bakara of Black Spike Feet 2. Yavert and Musafa of the Break Your Legs 2. Plankton Monster Smashes 2. Sandra of the Skull Splitting Sheilas 2. Sirloin K.O.A.T CAS 2. And Worst Boy Roaring Juniors 2. I will scroll here as you can see. Astrogoth, Audrey, Bigger Steve, Captain Seaman, Donkey, Dazgaroth, Gaston, Hopper, Hitting You, Jack Sheet, Jesse, Mr. Smee, Shady Guy, Scylla, Simone, Smash and Grab, and Tiny Hank. Moving back now to the Lilly-May Segunda Division. It was the first victory of the season for Tentacles Are Us, overturning the Badlands Blackhawks in a solid 2-0 victory. Hard fought. They've had a very, very hard season, but they have now gotten themselves out of the wooden spoon contention for now. We will see if they can cement their place there or above. Hairy Rainbows versus the Blue Shorts Boys. The Hairy Rainbows coming fresh off some momentum and some very, very steep progression by the coach, Tom. Well done, dude. But the Blue Shorts Boys, eager for revenge of their last few matches, came out also with a 2-0 victory. Very, very well done. This league, and I will keep saying, is a very tight and contested league. All of the players seem to be of a very similar skill level, and it's just showing that some dice rolls are just making the cut here. But those that were fighting for the top of the table maybe have decided it in this week, as a winner either way could potentially decide the league. The Memento Moris versus the Hodgepodge Villains. 1-0. The Memento Moris was the first blood drawn, with a very quick, typical halfling reply. And it could have been even better if it was not for a dodgy, dwarven runner. Oh, there was a few people with a look of shock and concern at that fucking stunty bitch. A dwarven dodge player. Some never thought they'd see the day. Some thought this was just a myth, but let me tell you, he's real. And he needs a leg break. Maybe the Break Your Legs can have a drop down into the division next season, meet them and, you know, give a little preseason warm-up for them. Let's see. But the Memento Mori scored a second time, making this a 2-1 victory. The Memento Moris cementing their place at the top, and if we look at the table, cementing their winning of the division. So congratulations, Kai, to you. As we have the Memento Moris on 24 points, 8 points ahead of Rob's Hodgepodge Villains. Only 6 points are left up for grabs. That shit ain't breaking. Rob needed a draw or better to even keep a chance. Rob, you are now in a solid 2-point lead for promotion playoffs, but as low as 5th place could snatch it from you. Things were to go very, very wrong. You have the Blue Shorts Boys on 14 points, close behind them. Then 5 points behind are Tentacles Are Us, Chaos Renegades, and the Badlands Blackhawks on 11 each. For Tentacles Are Us and the Badlands Blackhawks to take the playoff spot, they would need to win, and the Hodgepodge Villains would need to lose. This would also require a touchdown swing, as the Hodgepodge Villains have a better touchdown difference of 2 to the -1 and -3 of the Badlands Blackhawks and Tentacles Are Us. I would put money that the Hodgepodge Villains are probably safe from those two teams. So, Ben, you're in the driving seat to snatch victory away. You would need to better the result by 1. If there's a draw, you need to win. If they're a loss, you need to draw, etc., etc. Hairy Rainbow's now back in last position after the Tentacles Aura's victory. Unlucky, but it is what it is. Tom has successfully earned his first non-loss of the season, with the exception of a concede that he had been given in the first season. This was a first earned match. Well done. Very, very well done, dude. Let's take a look at what's going to be going on in the near future this coming week. We have the semi-final of the Halfa Legg Cup with the Roaring Juniors taking on the Black Spike Feet and the Hodgepodge Villains taking on the Break Your Legs. My personal predictions, I would expect a final between Black Spike Feet and the Hodgepodge Villains, but the Roaring Juniors have come away with a lot of knowledge and a lot of learning from the first encounter of the Black Spike Feet team and a few extra skills. Did it make the difference? The Break Your Legs, a dark horse, this team, and a very, very damaging team. Could they kill the Halflings before they can do any real damage and maybe stop any star players that come through? More than possible. And they do it. Looking now at the Segunda division for their scorers, CASs, and completions. And then one final announcement from myself. We have Quern Butler from the Memento Moris, top of the charts on 7. We have Shufflefoot of the Hodgepodge Villains on 3. Griff Ulbervold of the Star Players Union, 2. Muttley of Tentacles Auras, 2. And then we have all on 1. Bloom Jr., Hairy Rainbows, Dan Sneer Dwarf of Blue Shorts Boys. We have Fancy of Tentacles Auras. We have Grizz of the Badlands Blackhawks. We have Johnny Grogden. We have Larry Oleg. And we have Mike Webster, all of the Blue Shorts Boys. We have Scooby of Tentacles Auras. We have Snotslinger of the Badlands Blackhawks. And Seller Jr. of Hairy Rainbows. Looking at the passing table, we have TC of Tentacles Auras on 5. It looks like you've secured that trophy, but anything can happen. Bully Oak Gruff of the Hodgepodge Villains on 1. Grill Steak Sneak of the Blue Shorts Boys on 1. And we have Red Trunk Deeproot and Stubby Weak Twig, both of the Hodgepodge Villains on 1. Again, I will just read out the 2 that are currently top of the table. This is all to play for. We have Scooby of Tentacles Auras on 2. Head on alphabetical order only. Thundersnork of the Badlands Blackhawks 2. And then all on 1. We have A-Leg Boar's Blood and Bedwig Hog of the Memento Moris both on 1. Benny and Choo Choo of the Tentacles Auras on 1 each. We have Dream Ground of the Blue Shorts Boys on 1. Elston Bender of the Memento Moris, 1. Grahamson Stabbin, Blue Shorts Boys, 1. Griff Ulbold, Star Players Union, 1. Helms Nut, Badlands Blackhawks, 1. Huckleberry, Tentacles Auras, 1. Musa Jr., Harry Faries, 1. Selwyn Kiss of Memento Moris, 1. Slays Cruelish, Blue Shorts Boys, 1. And bottom of the table, Thundershirk and Treadfoot of the Badlands Blackhawks, both 1. Moving on here, looking at the dates for everything till the season's end. The 4th of October, this coming Tuesday, is going to be the Halfa Legg Cup semi-final fixtures, the ones I just read out. On the 18th of October, and I will read these fixtures out for you in just a moment, we have the 5th and final round of league fixtures on the 18th of October. On the 1st of November, we will have the league relegation playoffs for those occupying 5th in the Rakikuriko Primera and 2nd in the Lilly-May Segunda. See who stays up or gets relegated or promoted. On the 15th of November, it will be the Halfa Legg Cup final between whoever is the victors of the semi-finals we've just discussed. And finally, on the 29th of November, we will be hosting the award ceremony for all of the trophies earned and handing those out and having a jolly good old time getting ready and discussing for Season 3. The only other thing that I will ask coaches that if you're watching to start considering is on the 18th of October, I will be coming around with bits of paper for people to do voting for their Warpstone Lovers Coach's Choice Award. You can vote for any other coach, doesn't matter if you've played them or not, doesn't matter if they're in the same division or not. The only rule is, don't vote yourself. I will be watching. All the votes will be put inside of the trophy in the base, and then on the award ceremony on the 29th, I will open it up and we will count them in front of everybody so you can see how people line up. The last thing now, let's start with the Segunda division as we move on to their fixtures. So the final fixtures, which are going to be taking place in 3 weeks, is the Tentacles Are Us versus the Hairy Rainbows. The Hairy Rainbows win. They could probably claw themselves out of the wooden spoon contention. Tentacles Are Us, you guys are potentially playing for a playoff spot if things go very well. Same thing to the Badlands Blackhawks, who are taking on the champions of the Memento Moris. Can an upset be made? Find out. Blue Shorts Boys taking on the Hodgepodge Villains. All to play for this playoff spot right here. If the Blue Shorts Boys win, playoffs are theirs. If the Hodgepodge Villains win or draw, playoff spots are theirs. Very, very solid game. Moving on finally now to the final games of the Raki Kariko Primera Division. We have the Chaotic Outcasts versus the Skull Splitting Sheilas. This is Ding Dong Ditch for Chaotic Outcasts. They need to win. They need to win. Otherwise, they are looking down the barrel of a long drop to the next division down. The Roaring Juniors versus the Break Your Legs. Both have got relatively nothing to play for, but the Roaring Juniors do have the risk of falling into playoffs or potential wooden spoon if things go terribly, terribly wrong. So they would realistically need a good result. Monster Mash is also looking for an important result to keep themselves up versus the champions Black Spike Feet. Everything's going to be coming to an end soon in the league, and I hope everyone is ready because it's going to be interesting. I will be back after the semi-final to round all those up. See you later.